It's October 3rd, 1906, and a giant is on the move. This is not just any giant, but the most powerful ship on the face of the Earth, and she will forever change history. HMS Dreadnought has just been launched by the Royal Navy, and she has taken the world by storm. The brainchild of Jackie Fisher, this ship is like no other. For decades, battleships have evolved little from the basic formula: big guns, good armor, and slow speed. But that is about to change. This is the story of HMS Dreadnought, the battleship that rewrote history, and for the next 40 years, these new Dreadnought battleships will be the most powerful weapons of war and symbols of national pride. HMS Dreadnought was unlike anything the world had seen. At over 160 meters long, with a displacement of 18,000 tons, she was a floating fortress. But what set her apart wasn't just her size, it was her radical new design. For starters, she was the first battleship powered entirely by steam turbines, giving her an unmatched speed of 21 knots, fast enough to outrun older ships in her class, just a few knots shy of cruisers. Truly a remarkable achievement in naval engineering, and one that persists to this day. Her armor was layered and precise, with up to 11 inches of corrupt hardened steel protecting her vital areas. And then, most importantly, there were the guns. 10, 12-inch, 305mm guns, arranged in 5 twin turrets. These guns elevated to 13.5 degrees. They fired an 850-pound, 390-kilogram projectile at a muzzle velocity of 2,725 feet per second, giving her a maximum range of 16,450 yards. Using a more aerodynamic but slightly heavier shell, the range extended to 18,850 yards, or 17,240 meters. The rate of fire of these guns was about 2 rounds per minute, and the ship carried 80 rounds per gun. The all-big gun approach truly was revolutionary. No more mixing of calibers, no need to distinguish between large and medium gun splashes, making it that much faster to adjust gunnery on target. But long-range firepower is useless if you can't control it. And to do that, the latest in electronic fire control technology was installed on the ship. Data from a 9-foot, 2.7-meter bar and shroud rangefinder located at each control position was input into a Damask mechanical computer and electronically transmitted to Vickers range clocks located in the transmitting station beneath each position on the main deck. It was then converted into range and deflection data for use by the guns. Voice pipes were retained for use between the transmitting station and the control positions. The target's data was also graphically recorded on a plotting table to assist the gunnery officer in predicting the movement of the target. The turrets, transmitting stations, and control positions could be connected in almost any combination. Dreadnought triggered a naval arms race like the world had never seen. Germany, the United States, Japan, all scrambled to match and surpass her with their own dreadnoughts. Suddenly, it wasn't just about how many ships you had, but how many dreadnoughts. They were the most sophisticated weapons ever invented, and Dreadnought herself was a feat of engineering before she was even completed. Her construction, from keel to trials, was to be done within 1 year. For this, she was built at the HM dockyard in Portsmouth, which was regarded as the fastest building shipyard in the world. Some 1,100 men were already employed by the time she was laid down, but soon this number rose to 3,000. Whereas on previous ships, the men had worked a 48-hour week, they were required on Dreadnought to work a 69-hour, 6-day week from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. And this included compulsory overtime with only a 30-minute lunch break. While double shifting was considered to ease the long hours, which were unpopular with the men, this was not possible due to labor shortages. From 1907 to 1911, Dreadnought served as flagship of the Royal Navy's home fleet, but she was replaced in this role by HMS Neptune in March 1911 and was reassigned to the 1st Division of the home fleet. When the First World War erupted, Dreadnought was ready, but fate had other plans. By then, she was already obsolete and replaced by the new generation of dreadnoughts, so-called super dreadnoughts. Bigger, faster, more heavily armed and armored. Therefore, she ended up missing the epic Battle of Jutland, the largest confrontation of Dreadnought battleships to this day. She spent that time in dock for a refit, but her moment in the spotlight would come in a more unexpected form. Dreadnought's only notable action of the war was the ramming and sinking of German submarine SM U-29, skippered by Captain Lieutenant Otto Verdiger in the Petland Firth on March 18, 1915. She became the only battleship in history to ram and sink a submarine, a bizarre and ironic twist in a war increasingly ruled by stealth and torpedoes. By the end of the war, the once invincible Dreadnought was outclassed. The race she started had outpaced her. The Royal Navy was cash-strapped and could only afford her latest and greatest units. Dreadnought was well beyond her usefulness. In 1921, she was quietly sold for scrap, her guns silent, her decks empty, but her legacy, that never faded. The name Dreadnought, which means fear nothing, still lives on to this day. The Royal Navy just announced that HMS Dreadnought will be the first of a new class of nuclear ballistic submarines set to launch in the 2030s. She may be gone, but the wake she left behind still ripples through history. If you've enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below if there's a topic you would like for me to cover. And thank you for watching Time Travel. Have a great day.